Welcome to this explainer on Black Flame Concordia. Okay, so we're diving into a wildly ambitious, dark fantasy, demon-summoning tactical RPG that is currently under active development. Now, at first glance, you might think, oh, I know exactly what kind of game this is. But trust me, today we're going to completely peel back the layers and reveal a staggering cosmic secret hidden right beneath the surface.
We actually start our journey firmly grounded in the mortal world. Your initial reference point? It's this decaying, incredibly gritty landscape. Picture abandoned industrial zones, ancient churches, dark forests, and graveyards. It feels super familiar, right? But it's dangerous. This is a place where demonic forces are literally just starting to bleed into our reality through hidden portals and occult sites.
So in these early stages, your goals are actually pretty straightforward, heavily focused on the fundamentals. The gameplay loop demands that you first survive these incursions, discover the supernatural threats lurking in the shadows, summon your own demons, and meticulously build a tactical party. It feels like a really tight, traditional dark fantasy RPG. But here's the thing. Before a game can get genuinely weird, it has to be technically flawless.
And the developers totally nailed this by building a deterministic, offline-first game engine based entirely on pure transactions. Now, why does that matter to us? Well, because it ensures the rules of reality in this game never just randomly break. From the early boss logic all the way to complex, resource-constrained enemy AI, the whole architecture favors absolute control over uncontrolled randomness. To prove just how rock-solid these mechanics are, the developers actually ran a massive 10,000 iteration combat audit, and the results? Honestly, they're genuinely incredible. They passed 75 out of 75 invariant tests. That guarantees that the enemy AI strictly obeys the exact same resource constraints that you do. They absolutely cannot cheat. If an enemy doesn't have the MP, well, they simply can't cast the spell. No exceptions. And you are absolutely going to need that rigorous, bug-free foundation to handle the game's brutal tactical battles. Mastering combat here means intensely managing your active versus reserve roster, knowing exactly when to swap entities in and out. This level of tactical depth is literally the only way you'll survive major, mechanically complex bosses like the Ash Warden and the Glass Prophet, who are going to test absolutely everything you've learned.
But just as you feel like you've got it all figured out, like you've mastered the mortal realm and understand the boundaries of the game, boom, a portal opens. You drop straight into an enormous navigational map of hell, and instantly, any expectations you had of a simple dungeon crawl are completely shattered. The scope of the game suddenly explodes outward.
You quickly realize that hell isn't just your standard cavern of fire and brimstone. No, it is a massive, living civilization. You'll be exploring actual infernal cities, endless ash deserts, and these sprawling demon markets. Demons here aren't just interchangeable enemies for you to smash. They have complex politics, ancient rivalries, distinct cultures, and super powerful bloodlines. It is an entire, breathing society.
And just as you start to wrap your head around those infernal politics, the game's scope zooms out all over again. We transition upwards, straight into the staggering celestial cities, massive military orders, and sacred archives of heaven. The map opens up once more, presenting an entirely new, equally vast cosmology for us to navigate. Now, this universe completely shatters standard moral tropes. Heaven is not automatically the good guys, and hell is definitely not purely evil. Both realms possess really brutal politics, competing ideologies, and hidden prisons. Some celestial forces actually seek order at the cost of all freedom, while some demons might end up sharing your exact goals. Basically, individuals can act morally or immorally regardless of which realm they hail from.
Caught directly in the crossfire of these massive cosmic forces is Concordia. This is a location that starts out super small, maybe just a hidden refuge from the cosmic conflict. But as you progress, it gradually evolves into this wild intersection where fundamentally incompatible realities coexist. It eventually becomes your central seat of power and the entire foundation for everything that comes next.
Then there's the central mystery of the title itself, the Black Flame. And it isn't just some generic symbol for evil magic. It actually represents survival, sovereignty, and illumination found inside darkness. It's a power source that is way older than both factions. It represents the ability to actually change reality, rather than merely obey the rules set by heaven or hell. A real game changer.
And this brings us to a really deliberate, absolutely fascinating design pillar of the game, the WTF factor. As you explore, you're going to encounter anomalies that just break your understanding of the world.
I'm talking ruins that are mathematically older than hell itself. An angel desperately fleeing from heaven. A boss you killed hours ago suddenly speaking to you from an alternate timeline. Or even a minor NPC becoming a major cosmic key hours later.
These mind-bending anomalies are totally designed to stop you in your tracks and force you to ask, just how deep does this universe actually go? The true beauty of this design is that these mysteries emerge from undiscovered rules, not just random nonsense. When a hidden system suddenly changes the established combat mechanics, it feels totally earned, because the evidence was actually there all along.
Searching for answers leads to a pretty terrifying realization. Heaven and hell, they are just a tiny fraction of existence. You begin uncovering these forgotten dimensions, like the abyss, collapsed universes, and totally dead worlds. You encounter ancient entities and pre-heaven civilizations that flat-out refuse to recognize the authority of either cosmic army. You are uncovering secrets that literally scare even angels and demons.
And because of your actions, the very boundaries of reality start to fracture. You'll witness completely different universes beginning to overlap, with secret systems interacting with other secret systems. You find yourself exploring impossible spaces that mathematically shouldn't exist, which completely changes how you navigate and survive in the game.
This leads us directly to one of the most ambitious late-game mechanics you'll ever see: realm fusion. Instead of just traveling between worlds, you actually gain the ability to physically combine them. Merging hell and heaven, or the abyss and Concordia, doesn't just change the visuals, no. It fundamentally alters enemy populations, the rules of magic, environmental hazards, and the very physics of the game itself.
At this point, your core gameplay loop has entirely evolved. You are no longer just trying to survive. This final, mind-expanding progression elevates you from a mere mortal survivor right up to a cosmic architect. You are challenged to question the cosmic rules, break the boundaries of reality, fuse incompatible realms, and ultimately create an entirely new world.
So Black Flame, Concordia, uses its rock-solid tactical RPG mechanics to build your trust, only to masterfully pull the rug right out from under you. When you truly understand that hell was just the foyer, what kind of reality will you choose to create?